Today, let's talk about exhaustion, burnout, doing too much, mental load, decision fatigue, and all things that you can face as an entrepreneur, but also just as a normal human being living and trying to thrive in this crazy society. Welcome back to the channel, my loves. I hope you're doing fantastic today. If you're new, my name is Alika. I'm a coach and a mentor, and I help you live a more empowered, magnificent, pleasurable, fulfilling life. I hope you can lean back, relax, and let's jump right in. Before we do so, I'm gonna ask you to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. It helps me to show up on this platform, which I love to do lately, and to create more content on this. It really helps and really support. And I need you to grow, because we're growing together, you babes. Let's do that right now. I'm waiting. Okay, so let's start. The subject of today is not super happy and amazing, but I have found a lot of insights into this topic because I've been faced again and again with burnout, and with like extreme burnout or like tiny burnout, because sometimes you don't even know how to differentiate and to actually know that you're running past your capacity and what is healthy for you to provide into the world. My story with entrepreneurship and being a solo entrepreneur for so long and going after my dreams and having a big vision for myself, being extremely ambitious, having big plans, big desires of what I want to accomplish in the world, the kind of impact that I want to have, and how I want to be perfect on literally every single areas of my life. Like, I'm like this. I'm like not just a little bit perfectionist, I'm like next level perfectionist. And it's so crazy because we had this joke when I was younger, and you know, you had interviews for jobs and they will train you at school to go through those interviews, and there were this joke that saying you're perfectionist is a false flaws. If people ask you like, what are your qualities and your flaws? Why I have those words in my videos all the time that I cannot get the right pronunciation. The opposite of a quality, okay? And everyone was like, perfectionism is not one, because it's so bragging about yourself. It means like you're so perfect. Like, who do you think you are? And now I realize it's not a quality. It is, but it isn't. And I don't believe in this flow quality / quality. Like, I don't even believe in that. Like, it always pissed me out. Even when I was younger and I had no clue of everything that I'm talking about now, I just knew intuitively that was fucked up, because it's not black and white. There is not like great qualities to us with like bad quality to us. It's like in the bad there is some good, and in the good there is some bad. Like, everything is a blessing and then a curse. I'm completely going on a tangent here, but that is to say that if you have this high standard for yourself, just like I do, and being like super perfectionist, and being perfectionist, sometimes we don't even know we're doing it. Like, I train like an athlete at the gym because I want to be the best. I work like a crazy motherfucker doing 20 million jobs in my own job to have the kind of success and to grow my business beyond, and to have this like massive empire that I'm building by myself. I work on myself and my personal development and my mindset like crazy. I meditate like a fucking monk. Like, I'm just like always trying to be the best everywhere. And this is something that is amazing because I push myself really hard and I got super far in life in terms of what I have accomplished, the kind of woman that I am right now, the kind of teacher, the kind of coach that I am. Like, that makes me extremely good at my job. So that's a good part. But also it makes me extremely hard on myself, like extremely hard on myself. But as in everything, there are some good and some bad. The thing that it created a lot in my life is those moments of exhaustion and burnout. And this thing that I couldn't quite explain until I listened to that one podcast by a French girl, and she was talking about, in French we call it la charge mentale. So you would translate it as like the charge you have in your mind, and it's translated in English, I think, by mental load and decision fatigue, but it's kind of, there is some more subtleties. I love the French expression because I feel like it really talks to what I have. What I have, as in like it's a diagnostic, you know, it's like I'm sick or something, but it feels like so because it just creates those moments where it's difficult for me to find balance. Being a Libra, I feel like my whole life and my lessons in life are about finding more balance in my life. I'm deeply exploring that at the moment in my life. And I have found balance with a lot of things. For example, I have found balance with my food, which I haven't been able to do in forever. I've always had like super clean, what I thought was healthy food versus really poorly feeding my body with like junk food and tons of cheese and bread. Because I'm French, you guys. Bread, cheese, you know? And I thought it was like this or that. I was always super extreme. I always live in the extremes anyway. That's something that I'm learning to accept and to love about myself, because 27 years on this earth, and I tried to change that many times, but never worked. So I guess the only thing is to accept it and to embrace it and to use it, you know? So anyway, finding balance with my food and understanding what healthy means. For me, healthy is sustainable. For me, healthy is having nothing off limits. Just prioritizing what my body actually needs to perform at its best and nourishing my body with love. So I found balance in that for the first time of my life, and I'm like, I didn't know it was possible. I'm so happy. And I'm trying to do the same for my work, because being such a passionate entrepreneur that I am, my biggest struggle is that I am obsessed with my business. I still navigate all of that, and that's pretty vulnerable right here. Like, I felt it in my belly right when I was talking to you guys. I was like and like, I don't know if you can tell, but my eyes are getting a little bit more wet because like I feel the emotions. I feel emotions rising about how vulnerable that actually is to share not something that I mastered, because I often share in my podcast, on my Instagram, or here on YouTube, I share about subject that it's not that I master them, because you never become a full master, and life is very good at humbling you in those moments where you feel like you master something. But subject that I have studied and experienced myself long enough to be able to have more perspective and more mastery around, so I can talk about them. This one is still to the forefront of my life. It's something that I'm learning to navigate, and I'm learning as I go, and I want us to learn together. And I don't want you to think that I have all of my shit together, even though I have an amazing free ebook that you can download that is called Get Your Shit Together and Thrive. I'm laughing because, like, you know, those salespeople that are like so insistent, and every time you talk to them, like, I have those friends in life, you know, and they have a product or something, and they're like, in the most random conversation, they will just find a way to place their product, and I didn't mean to do it, but I did it. Anyway, it's good shit. Get Your Shit Together and Thrive. It's an amazing ebook, available completely for free, where you're gonna learn that. But I don't want you to think that I have all of my shit together. I'm still working through stuff every single day. Even if on this channel we're talking about self-development and stuff, I just use my voice to share my stories, to share my perspective about things. But I'm learning. So at the moment I'm learning that finding the balance, because what would happen is that I'm gonna give my 100%. I'm a hustler, I'm a go-getter. I'm like, you need to take actions to make things happen, you need to work hard. I profoundly believe in that, you know, and I also profoundly believe in manifestation and the power of the feminine and surrendering and opening and receiving. But I don't really feel comfortable and like people that are just talking about that aspect of manifestation, of like doing nothing and praying and meditating and everything will come to you. I really believe in the power of actions. And for me, being successful, you have to go out of your comfort zone. So you have to do things. So you have to push yourself to your limits. I absolutely adore doing that. I love challenges and I love overcoming them. I guess it's in my nature. It's not something that everyone has, but I know I have it. I got a tattoo, you guys. I don't know if you can show you. Is it too much for YouTube? Can you see? I think you can see. Yeah, that was my first tattoo when I was 18. It means transcend and challenge and transcend. That's how obsessed I was even when I was younger about overcoming challenges. I'm obsessed with that. And I don't really know where I was going with that because I lost my thread of thought. I was just like trying to be more comfortable with you guys, telling you a bit more about my personal story so you get to know me and we get to like hang out. So it's not as structured as my videos are most of the time. But what I'm trying to share with you is that finding this balance is really important. And what I would do is like being in that extreme of like go-getter, overachieving, running this business, pouring my heart and soul into it, and then completely burning out and having to take 2, 3, 1 month off. And obviously I'm not gonna let myself do that. I'm not gonna let myself take that much time off, because I think that is a mistake I've made, and I'm so glad I made it. And I'm so proud of my story, and I'm so proud of where I'm at with my business. But I think I should have hired a lot earlier in my business, like a lot earlier, like a lot. I should have got people. As soon as I was starting to make a little bit of money, I should have invested that money in team members and people to support me. But I needed to go through everything so that I have something that is that stable and that like with systems and processes that I didn't have back then. So I couldn't really hire people because they would have been in my business and be like, what the fuck, Lika? Like, what do we do? How can we support you? And I would have not know how to do that. So again, I don't regret anything, but that is an advice if you're not young in your age, but if you're starting your business or thinking about starting your business, this is an advice I would give my younger self if I had to do things differently. But to be honest, I think I wouldn't do anything differently because of everything that I've learned on the journey is so much more precious than that. But anyway, that is to say that I have this charge on myself to do the branding, the marketing, sales, customer service, and doing my main job, which my main job is to coach people. Like, developing the business, working on the business is not really my job. I became quite good at it, at many things. I've developed incredible skills in many different areas, but this is not the core of my job, of what I do. And so I got lost in that for so long, and I just felt so overwhelmed with this idea that I need to keep up. I need to keep up with, well, I'm pretty new to be back on YouTube, but I need to keep up with Instagram and creating reels and posts and keeping up with my email list and keeping up, obviously, with my clients. My clients are always like, but I don't even, like, that doesn't really overwhelm me because I love that part, because that's the part of like, you know, what I love and why I choose this path for myself and what I'm good at. So it's natural, it's easy, it's effortless. Anyway, I get so easily overwhelmed, and then I have to take a month off because I'm completely burned out. And when I say completely burned out, it's like my body is shutting down. My body is like, I'm not doing that anymore, bitch. Like, give me some fucking rest. Recently, my desire is not to have to do those two extremes of like working so hard and then having my body forcing me to take some rest, and finding what I found with my relationship with food, which is that balance, that equilibrium, that like, yeah, that harmony, balance. Like, balance is so good, you know, being balanced in everything feels so good. So for that, it's also a lot of like preventing me from burning out and from feeling exhausted. Because the thing is, like, obviously now I'm talking about my work, I'm talking about my business, because that takes a lot of space in my life. But outside of that, I'm also, as I was sharing, I'm training at the gym and I'm trying to be the best. So I'm trying to learn, having the perfect form and having the perfect training to, improve my results. I'm always so passionate and dedicated with everything I do. It's also being like a good daughter to my parents and a good friend to my friends and replying to my texts and showing up for the people in my life. Like all of that just adds up in my mind, and it's just too much and it's overwhelming, and I feel just like I can't take it anymore because I have suffered a lot from depression and anxiety. It has become less comfortable being with myself, being in my own presence. So I also keep myself busy a lot to avoid that quiet time. But this is in that quiet time that I can actually rest and rejuvenate. So that's what I'm learning at the moment, and that's why I wanted to press record today. They are not one form of rest. And in this podcast that I have listened, and that made me feel so seen, because she was really talking about things that I was experiencing myself around burnout and exhaustion and feeling tired and decision fatigue. Because as an entrepreneur, or I see it with my best friend. She's a mother of, I think he is now 14 months, my sweet little baby angel that I love so much. She also suffered from that, and she's not an entrepreneur, but being a mom, she has so many decisions to make as well. Just like I have so many decisions, just like you probably do too. This is just something that clutter your mind. It's like your to-do list is always getting bigger and bigger and bigger because there are always things to be done. And people telling you to take a rest and meditate and calm yourself, that doesn't fucking help. That doesn't fucking help because you feel overwhelmed, and going into meditation, you would just keep thinking about your to-do list or feel like you're so behind and you're becoming even more behind on everything you have to do. So it's not relaxing at all. When she said that in the podcast, I was like, someone actually sees me and understands me. And so I'm trying to be that for you too, and to tell you that it's okay if people are telling you to take a break and just relax and just sleep more. There are so many different types of rest. I've learned that there are 7 types of rest, and that helped me a lot. The first one is the physical rest. It's sleeping. It's giving your body time to rest, but that is usually not enough. That is just what helps you to survive another day. But I sleep really well. I sleep really, really well. And I'm still exhausted and burnout. But I sleep like a baby. Like my sleep is great. Probably could be improved because, again, I'm a perfectionist. But honestly, I sleep like deep sleep, whatever. Amazing. You have, I'm not sure I'm going to remember all of them, you guys, but bear with me. You have social rest. This is the one I'm taking at the moment. I deleted my social media apps. I deleted Instagram and TikTok. I kept YouTube, and I'm still recording this video, so because YouTube is my safe space right now. It's where I want to pour my heart and soul, because I love this place. I love this community. I love creators on this app, and it feels good. It feels good to be with you guys. But I would just be immersed in contact with other people on Instagram, whether it's creating or absorbing content, being in the DM, and plus I had my best friend on the phone mostly every day, plus interacting with friends or visiting my parents, my sister, just constantly being around people. Especially as an empath, sometimes I just don't know what is mine and what is not mine, so I need to have that rest of not seeing everyone. You also have mental rest. So that is the thing, it's that tricky one. It's the one I don't master yet. That's the one I really want to master. It's like reducing that decision fatigue, improving processes, whether it's in my business or even in my personal life, so I don't have to make so many decisions, making life easier for myself. I'm really learning that, you guys. So I'm not an expert. I'm inviting you and I to be on this journey. If you master that, can you share with me how you actually That's the thing. Please advise me. Give me some advice. I love to receive advice from people. I don't always listen to them, but I love receiving them. Can you tell me in the comment what you do to rest, to actually get that rest, not sleeping, anything else from sleeping? How do you actually rest? What are your techniques? For me, it would be delete stuff from my to-do list, being like, it's okay if it's not done, because nothing is worth compromising my peace. I don't know if you remember that. I recorded this video about the 5 things I wish I knew sooner, and the last thing is nothing is worth compromising my peace. Nothing. I try to prioritize my calm and my peace, and knowing that I'm sharing something that is a lot more impactful. I can help people better. I can create better content. I can be a better coach to my clients. I can be a better friend when I'm well rested and calm and at peace. Okay, so I have 3 of them. We have sensory rest. So I used to live with a roommate that labeled herself autistic, even though she never actually been diagnosed by an actual doctor, but she took some kind of tests. She read this book and she realized she was autistic, or like borderline autistic. And what she shared with me was super interesting, and I was like, maybe I am too. But I refuse labels, so I don't really care how I call myself. I just know that I'm extremely sensitive. Extremely sensitive. Like extremely sensitive. I'm gonna repeat that into the mic. ASMR. Lika. That can be super annoying for some people. But that's part of the senses as well. So I'm on topic here. I'm super sensitive to light, to sounds, to even the fabric. Like, I love to sleep with something so soft on my skin, and if I don't sleep with something soft on my skin, I literally cannot sleep. I'm just sensitive to all of that, like strong stimulus of like loud noises, bright light, all of that really feels like, it almost feels traumatic in my system. I know I'm being super dramatic here, but it feels such an aggression. Having some sensory rest is like so divine. You know what my dream is? I've never done it. Tell me in the comment if you've done it and what was your experience. The float tank, you know, where you remove all, oh my god, this is like my dream. But I don't think I have that close to where I live right now in France. I've searched online and I haven't found it. If you're in France and you know some places, some good places to do that, please send me your recommendations, because like I am so eager to try that. Another one is spiritual rest. So it's like, you know, getting yourself in meditation, connected to nature, connected to what you call God and your own divinity. And I think I missed 2 or 1 of them, but I didn't try to be perfect on that video. I was just trying to share what I've recently learned. So what I'm learning now is to take some time off for me. Deleting social media, even though that's my job. Like, that's literally my job. I advertise my services on Instagram. Most of my clients comes from Instagram. And now hopefully it's gonna change and most of you are gonna become my clients, because we're having such a good time and you want to deepen your work, hire the most amazing mentor out there, aka me, to have the most epic results, or you want to just do it on your own and follow an online program, you can check that on my website, for example. Anyway, all of that to say that social medias are not just for consumption. I create a lot on those platforms, and deleting them felt super edgy, but I needed it. I needed it to go back to me, to go back to who I am. I felt super inspired to record so many videos. Recording this video is an example, and that is actually more helpful, and that is what I'm growing through at the moment, is learning that, you know, it's learning to be more compassionate, to take deeper breath during the day, to do more of what I love, take the time to not rush, spend more time in nature, going on long walks, not to hit my steps count, because also I was walking to do my 10,000 steps every day. Like everything became a competition or a pressure. I was putting enormous pressure on myself. And again, that's something that I'm learning and navigating and trying to be better at. And I wanted to be transparent about that because I share it openly to my friends. So my friends know how fucked up I am and how I felt so exhausted and sad and was just like moving through those difficult emotions. But I also want to have this more vulnerable, open, and I want to have more of this open, vulnerable conversation with you on YouTube. If you enjoy this format a little more talking, a little more vulnerable, authentic, raw, vulnerable, messy, chaotic, just like we are in life. I just feel it in my belly when I say that. I just feel like life is so beautiful. Life is so precious. And, you know, I came a long fucking way. And I have felt the depth of my own dark night of the soul, of being in depression for more than 2 years, brokenhearted and struggling and battling with myself and my mental health. And to even say the words of life is beautiful makes me so emotional because I can't believe that I'm where I'm at right now. And I am proud and happy. Even though I just shared with you some struggles that I'm moving through, I am proud of who I am as a person. I am proud of how I show up to face those challenges, and my passion is to share it so we can feel together. With that being said, I wish you a beautiful rest of your day. Remember to like this video, share with me in the comments your takeaways or how you feel. It also helps with the algorithm and growing a YouTube channel so that I don't have to put so much effort in knowing how to grow a YouTube channel. Because you guys, I'm already exhausted, okay? So do it for me. Subscribe. I love you and I talk to you soon. Mwah.